right, go ahead.
Let's wait a second. All right, welcome everybody to the difference in how we start after a win versus a loss is just day and night. Welcome everybody to Jaguars Falcons in London post-game stream. Going to talk about this dub and what it means going forward. If it made us happy, if we're content with the W.
Yeah.
We streamed live on our YouTube channel, Dunn and Drew, during it. It had a lot of good moments, especially the Calvin Ridley touchdown, the pick six. But I'm going to ask you to do this. Can you take that Sharpie over there, go to the schedule over there, and give us a W for the first time in 3 weeks?
You want a fat W or?
I want to. Well, nah, this ain't a fat W.
Be obnoxious.
This ain't a fat W.
You're right.
Game.
Janob's FaceTiming me. Interesting.
All right, so we got the win. I'm gonna post a poll up here in a minute, but we got like 5 polls. Let's do it. All right, so he's got the schedule over there. You might see this in your local grocery store or bar. Put that W there. We're 2-2. The Jaguars are 2-2. I might make that. I might just want them to stay over there if they play.
I'm getting like FaceTime calls from all our Jags fan friends for some reason.
Yeah, people acting like we just want a playoff game.
I know people
far from.
This is it's very weird. I don't normally get calls from people after a Jags win, especially not
one like that.
Not one like that where we scored 1 offensive touchdown, 3 field goals, and a defensive touchdown. But yeah. Where do I begin? Game started. Well, the first score started amazing. It gave me memories of week 1 because it was kind of similar where Trevor Lawrence had to scramble around and he found Calvin Ridley wide open in the end zone. Happened again. For some reason, Trevor Lawrence can hit Calvin Ridley wide open in the end zone, but when it's anybody else, he's not looking their way. Maybe Calvin Ridley like messed with his mental for a little bit, but that play was a highlight of the game for me. I know we're divided as Jags fans here. Like some people, they don't like when some Jags fans are, pessimistic and kind of reserved in their emotions after a win. But we've been doing this for so long, man, where I've just got super high expectations for this season now, because we've watched so much bad Jags football over the past 10 years. And although we got the win today, I'm underwhelmed, as most Jags fans should be.
I think if we're living up to our offensive potential, we should have put up 30. And I think that's why people are upset. Like, why are we just running this elementary offense where it's a wide receiver screen, it's a quick 3-yard out by a tight end where he's tackled immediately? And I actually saw this this tweet during the game. It's probably like fourth quarter. Trevor Lawrence at one point was 5.3 air yards per attempt, which would be the lowest of the season. He entered the day averaging just 6.1 air yards per attempt. And I know that shortly after this tweet, he launched it down to Ridley, who got a pass interference call. Mm-hmm. Like, let's do that more often.
Yeah. I don't understand why we don't do that more often. We have a ton of offensive weapons. Like, we've been talking about this offensive roster since preseason where we looked amazing and everyone's like, oh, it's preseason, it doesn't matter. And now I'm like, you're right. It don't matter, because what are we putting on the field right now? Like, the Jags defense won the game today. Like, without the Jags pick 6, I understand. We had 3 field goals. The offense was able to, get in field goal range, but we had 1 offensive touchdown. 1. And if you're watching the games from start to finish, that as a super fan of football, that should be glaringly obvious, right? Like, 1 offensive touchdown. And the most unfortunate part of this game, like, we were winning this game like from the first touchdown. Like, when I saw the first 2 Falcons drives stalling, not getting a first down, I was like, okay, we're going to be okay. Because we're we're not that great, but the Falcons are even worse than us on offense. But when we got the Cisco pick and we were down there in the red zone, it was 4th and 1. We don't kick the field goal. We go for it on 4th and 1. We call a play action pass, and Trevor runs into a sack. And I understand that the run wasn't working today, but I think we could have gotten 1 rush yard if we went for it on 4th and 1. Just 1 rush yard. Like the play calling, we've been talking about it since week 1. We've been talking about it all season. Like ever since the news came out about the change in play calling.
Week 2 at least.
But like it's like so apparent in these games. What are we calling? We have all these players on offense to throw to, and we just run up the middle, 1 yard, 2 yard, 3 yards. It's very disgusting. And the reason I'm so underwhelmed about this game is because of, like I said previously, the 1 touchdown that we threw and not converting when Cisco got the interception. Like the pick 6 was great. I wish Cisco could have returned it so he could put some more points on the board, but not getting the 4th down conversion or the 3rd down conversion after the Cisco interception before the half was it was kind of draining, honestly, because I'm just waiting for points from this team. Like week 1, like what I said preseason, like this offense has the capability to put up 30 plus points a game, and they're just not reaching their full potential week to week. I'm grateful for the win. Like we definitely need this win, especially being 3rd in the division before this game at 1 and 2.
Totally happy with a win. If we were 1 and 3 going to play the Bills,
yeah. Like
we're always looking at the future.
Wrong.
We're always looking to see
don't get me wrong. Like the win is great. 2 and 2, great. I'm not complaining about winning a game. It's just it's a long NFL season. Like we play 17 games, and every time you win a game, you have to look to the next one. It's not, hey, we got to win, let's celebrate. No, you have another game, then another game, or another game. Every week. Post-game interview, Trevor was like, it's his birthday, but he's got to get ready for the Bills. The Bills are not an easy team to beat. The Bills have a quarterback that we're going to face that isn't like Desmond Ridder. They're going to have a defense that isn't like the Falcons defense, who we didn't even play that well against. Like we struggled. We moved the ball a little bit in the pass game, but everything came up to a field goal in this game. 3 field goals, once again, just like the Chiefs game, and the run game was non-existent. Trevor probably had just as much rush yards as ETN. Not true. ETN had like 55 on like 24 55. Carries.
Damn,
on like 24 carries. But Trevor at least had 30.
He had 42.
42.
ETN only averaged 2.8 yards per carry.
How many carries?
That shut.
It had to be like
20 rushes, 55 yards, 2.8. Yeah, those handoffs in shotgun is very infuriating when he just runs right into, like, you watch the Eagles. Like I said, Swift has like 3 yards before he even has to face any defenders on the other side of the ball. But yeah, this game had some hiccups offensively. I saw that people said that Trevor missed 2 touchdowns. I know the one to Kirk where he was wide open, but what was the other one? Maybe
the other one was Hasty.
It was another Christian. No, it was another Christian Kirk when Cisco got that pick, and we tried to go score the touchdown, but he got sacked.
Oh yeah,
Christian Kirk had broken
was open.
So twice he missed Christian Kirk. I put a poll out. Should Doug Peterson take back play calling? I kind of knew what the responses would be here. 100% yes. I'm gonna put another poll up there. Well, speaking of hiccups, real quick. Toy Story stream was great. I mean, some hiccups there, but
had a little bit of glitches, but it's a brand new thing that they came out with. So for it being completely brand new, I thought they did a good job, and it was pretty cool to watch.
But ESPN not having the first down marker is crazy.
I think I'm good.
The whole game. No, you in red, bro.
11. Got 11.
That's crazy.
I brought a charger.
Okay. I'm gonna put another poll up. This one is called "A Win is a Win, True or False?"
Yeah, that's like a poll for me because we won the game, but I'm like, yay. It's like a shrug and a yay because because I keep looking forward to the team next week.
Yeah,
the
I can't help but look forward.
And we have the Buffalo Bills next week, and after what I've seen today and the last 2 weeks, the offense has been the same. The last 3 weeks that we haven't seen the offense explode at all. We haven't seen that yet this season, and that's what Jags fans were expecting this year. So if we're going to go out there against the Bills and be how we've played the last 3 weeks, then sure, I'm happy with the win to be 2-2 just to help our record as the season goes along. But when you're putting up a team like the Bills against us after how we've played the last 3 weeks, I'm not too optimistic about beating them. But a win is a win in the NFL.
It's just crazy to me that our offense seemed
that reply was funny.
Our offense seemed to click last year, especially toward the end of the season. And all we did was add a better player. And it's like we have to re-find ourselves. Luckily, it's only September, and we have a long time to start clicking again. I mean, we went through
October 1st.
We went through all of October last season, not getting a win in October. So congrats on the Jaguars winning in October for the first time in 2 years.
All those games just flashed through my memory. I remember last year we were sitting at the bar for Broncos Jags losing in London, and we were like, season's over. Season's over. And Andy actually went through the Jags schedule at that same bar that I had just mentioned. We were there a couple days ago, maybe last night. I don't remember. Brain's foggy. But he was going through the schedule. He went through it. It was just like last season. He said 3-7 again and 9-8. And I was like, if you told me that the Jags would finish 9-8 this season, win the division and make the playoffs again, if we started 3-7, I would go through that all over again. If I knew that was going to happen, I'd go through it all over again because it was an exhilarating ride. But since we don't know what the outcome is going to be by January, if I see the Jags at 3-7 again, I'm going to be saying that the season is over again. I don't care what happened last year. That's just how my brain works when the Jags aren't working. It's insane. But we left a lot of points out there on the field. The Falcons did not look great. We didn't look great, but we definitely looked better than them. But credit to the defense for getting to the quarterback, for intercepting the quarterback, and keeping us in this game. Because if our defense was terrible, I fear for the worst. But luckily, this pass rush is able to get to the quarterback against bad teams, besides last week. But maybe the Texans aren't so bad as we thought preseason.
No, CJ will get sacked like 5 times today.
Well, yeah, he was playing TJ Watt, Highsmith. They have one of the best pass rushes in the NFL. Yeah, I don't understand. I don't understand why we can't get anything rolling. Like, it felt like Calvin Ridley had maybe 3 catches. Like, we didn't look to him at all. We threw a lot to Ingram, lots of Kirk. Maybe it was because Calvin was double teamed, but I don't know why we don't just design quick routes to Calvin Ridley that are like 8, 9, 10 yards down the field.
Well, we did in preseason. It was like quick outs. I'm not sure what happened there.
It doesn't seem like that's that hard to do to a guy of that caliber of player. And we're just not doing it.
It does seem like when getting 1 yard, 5 yards, 10 yards is like pulling teeth. And I'm hoping that improves as the season goes on. Like I said, we should have put up at least 30 plus on this team with all the opportunities that our offense got. All I can say is I hope it gets better. Maybe when Cam Robinson comes back, maybe more time. I like that. We could put a poll up about Trayvon Walker. But I wanted to talk about this graphic that I pulled up here. This is pretty good by the social media team. There's a meme with Toy Story where Andy's dropping Buzz and Woody, and it says, "I don't want to play with you anymore." And this is what the Jaguars are saying to the Falcons. We don't want to play with you anymore. So win for the social media team. They always win. But getting back to that poll.
They win when we win.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Are you concerned about Trayvon Walker's development? I said. We have 42% saying yes, and then 33% saying no, 25% unsure. I would put myself in the yes. I just see he just doesn't look like he's impacting the game. And I can't help but watch Aiden Hutchinson Unfortunately, Trayvon will be compared to him his whole career, especially if his career does not go well. And Trent Baalke will also be referenced anytime Aiden Hutchinson has a great play. Aiden Hutchinson had a great Thursday night game.
Second play of the game on defense. Andy put out a tweet saying something about Aiden Hutchinson and watching him that game. And the second play that he's out there, he is reaching through the offensive line and grabbing the quarterback by his jersey and making a one-handed sack. So unfortunately for Trayvon, that's going to be a thing, considering Aiden was the consensus number one pick amongst a lot of draft experts. And we took a project and hasn't panned out how we'd want it. Pass rush hasn't looked great. But Josh Allen, he has got his. He's got his in a couple of games. But we'll see if he's able to keep that streak going. Once again, we always have to keep looking to next week because we can't keep sitting on what happened the previous week as the season keeps churning along. Have to see if he's able to do this against the Buffalo Bills next week, who we would need a win against because we already have a loss against the Chiefs. We need to beat the Bills in terms of standings later in the year. So we shall see. Happy though for the dub. Like if we were 1-3 right now sitting here, this
I don't know if I would be sitting here.
My tone would be, I don't know what my tone would be. It'd be worse than last week if you watched on Bleacher Report. Oh, is that about his? Yeah. Oh, that's funny.
Well, we had the same thought while watching the game. We thought that Dana Orlovsky was naked, like not wearing any pants. If you just look at their heads, it looks like he's sitting there without any pants on.
What did Dan say? He quoted that.
Yeah, he said, "I did wear pants."
And he got the tag.
I think the best way to sum it up is how Kyron Harrington summed it up. A win is a win, yes, but I expected our offense to run it up.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to next week when we're playing the Bills.
Yeah, the Bills, they may have looked lackluster week 1 against the Jets, but since then they've been pretty dominant on offense, scoring that's preseason. Scoring 38 and 37 points in back-to-back weeks after losing week 1. So today they play Miami, which should be a shootout as well. And then they come here to London to play the Jacksonville Jaguars. So I just if we're doing predictions in this stream post game, then I think Bills are going to win. I just don't see anything inspiring from this offense that's going to just change in a week, because I've watched this team in the pounding sun in week 2 score no touchdowns. Week 3 score, 17 points? I think it was 17 points. Gifted touchdown. And then this game, another struggling offensive performance. So until they're able to turn it around somehow, this is the Jags' identity, and this is how we're going to be the rest of the season.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
I don't know about that.
Well, living in the moment, that's how I feel that we're going to be playing, because they're going to have to just change it. We're not throwing downfield. We're struggling in the run game. Nothing's working right now. But the defense up to this point in the season has played better than our offense, which is crazy to say. But it has been, outside of week 3 when CJ Stroud put up 37. But our offense didn't do anything that game either. So consider the Texans game a wash. Defense played better in week 2. Defense played better this week. And offense played better in week 1. So defense is ahead right now, shockingly. And that's why I think the Bills are going to run it up on us.
Shout out to Pete95. He said, "Hey, love listening to y'all after the games. Great fans talking real shit. Keep it up, y'all boys. It's always the Jags. Duval." had I don't know what I wondered. Oh, think that we could trade for Max Crosby. I am so on board with this. So if you're a Jags fan, start rooting for Walter down. Start rooting for Raiders losses, because if we get some Raiders losses, especially if they lose to the Bears before the trade deadline, Max Crosby could become available, and he would be a giant missing link for this defense. I don't know if that's possible, but I'm always looking out for pass rushers that could be traded, and he's on my list right now.
The thing about that is that our front offense would want to improve the D-line via trade, which they had the opportunity to do anything to improve the defensive line in the last 8 months. And all they did was draft
5th round pick
Abdullah. So what's going on in that front office? What's on their mind?
We have 2 people, or 20% of you are happy with the offense after this W. 80% are not.
Yeah. Jinx.
I think the best way to sum it up is we won. Thank goodness we're not 1-3 playing the Bills. We're 2-2. We have another week to see if our offense can get back on track. I'm going to end the stream, but we can still add our comments at the end.